All right, welcome to episode 238 of the podcast. Today we have the CTO of Kira on with us to explain what Kira is in the Kira network. How you doing today, man?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Of course. It's a pleasure to have you on. Very excited to chit chat about it and kind of learn about what you guys are doing. Tell me a bit more about yourself, though. What's your story like? How did you get into the space? How did you get into this wonderful world of crypto and blockchain that we love?
So my name is Matt. I'm originally an electronics engineer, but I was always passionate about software development. That's what I mainly pursued. Uh, I started in crypto around the time, even before I started the university. Those were like 2011, 2012. I started by mining Zcash and Dogecoin as well. I was actually using Zcash to kind of pay for my daily expenses. I was able to my dorm and so on. So that's how I got in, pretty much. I worked for Barclays Bank in Czech Republic after I graduated electronic engineering. Then after a few years, I moved to Switzerland. I worked for BT.com, a cryptocurrency exchange. Even before that, I was involved with Settle Finance. I was doing software development for them, security, infrastructure, cloud. I moved all that to BT.com, all that knowledge. And shortly after BT, I met with the CEO, Milana, in Prague during the DEFCON 4 Biolith conference. Ethereum conference, and then we started working on Kira.
Nice. Well, it seems like you bounced around quite a bit from country to country, and before you ended up here.
Yes, that's right.
Did you like living in all those different places, or was it for work, or why'd you bounce around so much?
It was mostly work. I never really mattered to me that much if I'm like enclosed in one space in one country or enclosed in another space in another country. Sometimes I was traveling and sightseeing, so it didn't really matter that much.
Got it. So tell me about Kira. Being a part of the team, being the CTO, what is the Kira network? What are you guys trying to accomplish?
So I think the simplest explanation is that Kira is a layer one. If you are familiar with Ethereum, Polkadot Relay Chain, Cosmos Hub, or any other project which goal is to secure and host other either dApps or parallel chains, then that's what Kira is. It's a layer one, but it works a bit different than your typical proof of stake and proof of work coins.
Nice. I know that you guys work primarily to connect Web3 applications through your guys' platform. How does that work more specifically? How does that ecosystem come together to connect these different applications?
So Kira was originally designed to be a part of Web3, so to exist in parallel to other networks rather than be, let's say, like a central hub or like event horizon outside of which nothing should really exist because it is not safe to exist outside of it. We designed Kira as the network that could live in parallel to other chains and give you this composability stack so that you can call an application on Kira from another network outside, from outside, and, for example, be able to execute, for example, a trade on a DEX on Kira. That was the main goal when it comes to the tech design.
Got it. What are some of the apps or applications that you guys have begun to put together in this ecosystem for Kira?
So right now we are starting with just a settlement layer. So your relay chain,
Okay.
you can compare it to your Polkadot relay chain that was going to then be used to secure the dApps, which would be running on their own parallel chains. It's just in case of Kira, the dApps, they do not necessarily have to be a blockchains. So what we are using is technology which Polkadot initially introduced, but resigned from it. It is a fisherman approach to security, so that we can have a number of validators which can secure applications which are heterogeneous. They are not homogeneous. They don't have to be the same copy of what we are running, and then the state is settled on main relay chain. What we are doing is that you can run any kind of code as long as this code is deterministic. It doesn't have to be blockchain. It can be a Docker container running your application, and then the network is tasked with ensuring that whatever was computed, it was computed correctly, and then the account balances are settled on the main relay chain, which secures those apps.
Do you guys have any examples or strategic partnerships in place right now that kind of better explain what type of applications?
It's not any particular. It's a generic computing cloud. It doesn't have to be any particular app. Like, we are geared toward specifically DeFi because of how our consensus was designed. So Kira is a bit different than your Polkadot or Ethereum 2.0 network, and it differs that it is proof of stake. However, you do not secure the network with just one token. You can secure the network with any token. So you can take your Bitcoin, you can take your Ethereum, you can bring them through the decentralized bridge. You can stake your Bitcoin, you can stake your Ethereum on Kira to secure Kira. But the tokens you are staking, they remain liquid. So because they remain liquid, they can be used with dApps. You can trade your stake, you can use your stake to yield farm, you can utilize it for flash loans or for any other purpose. You can even transfer them outside and even stake them again on some other chain that would also be able to support the same consensus that Kira is supporting. Or vice versa, you can bring a token, a staking derivative, bring it to Kira and stake it again to kind of double your staking rewards. So we are built so that you can bring in the assets, secure the chain, and then use the assets that you are staking within that network. So whether this is trading, whether this is staking, it is a generic purpose. We will create an example in form of interchain exchange protocol, so that you can take all your coins and you can trade them similarly to only Uniswap. So this is, I think, is going to be like the first use case, first example. So a decentralized DEX, and with this pattern, we'll be able to show it to the developers in the community and show them, okay, here is a design pattern. You can take it and you can change it, build up from there anything you wish, and you can use any language you want. You don't have to use EVM. You don't have to use Rust. As long as your code is deterministic, this meaning that anyone who recomputes the operations you did can arrive to the same result. You can run it, and Kira will run it for you. And that's kind of, I think, the first use case. Number one, showcase what can be done with like the simplest DEX example, and then expand towards any type of DeFi app, or maybe even gaming apps that there might be use for.
Yeah, I know you mentioned that the examples are generic. On your website, under token economy, you have Uniswap, PancakeSwap, CoinGecko, AscendEX. Can you give me some more of those examples? Are those actually in your ecosystem right now? Or are those just examples of the type of applications that can be?
I think those are just partners, either partners or ecosystems where we are listed. So like CoinGecko, example of the applications. Yeah, the simplest example of the application would be something like Uniswap. So you can bring your, let's say, Bitcoin to Kira, and then you can trade it. Or you can stake your Bitcoin, make passive income, and then use the derivative that the network would give you and trade it. I don't know, trade it for Ethereum, trade it for stable coins, or use the DEX for some other purpose you have in mind.
Got it. In terms of, and you mentioned staking on Kira a couple of times as well. How does that work? Depending, and what kind of things can you stake through Kira?
So Kira is designed to allow you to stake any asset, which means you can stake both fungible assets and non-fungible assets. And the reason you can stake any asset is because we have our own custom consensus. We don't go and copy paste Polkadot, DPoS, BPoS, or from Cosmos or some other network. We designed our own consensus from scratch so that you can bring any asset, and that asset can be whitelisted by the governance for staking, and then it can be bonded to the validators you trust, so that you can increase the security of the chain. Kira can, thanks to this mechanism, the Kira can scale the security. Similarly, like proof of work can scale hash rate, right? And that's how it can scale the security. In typical proof of stake, you cannot do it, right? You got limited how much value can be there at stake, how much people really can trust your network is limited to how much your token is worth. In our case, there is no such limit. You can bring any asset at any amount, and you can add it to the stake so that you can increase the trust. How this mechanism works is fairly simple. Once the governance does its due diligence and determines that, oh yeah, this token is not a scam token, it can probably be safely staked and it will add really value at stake, which is the most important factor, then you can simply bond it, like you can bond dots on Polkadot relay chain, or you can bond atoms on Cosmos Hub or Ethereum 2.0. It's just you can bring any token and you can stake it. The difference is that when your tokens are staked, they are not locked. They remain transferable, but they remain transferable in form of staking derivatives. So if you, for example, if you bring your Bitcoin and transfer it to Kira through a decentralized bridge, then you can, and you stake it, you receive one-to-one derivative. So for one Bitcoin you stake, you receive one Kira Bitcoin, which represents that Bitcoin that you stake. So your original token is locked, it's securing the network, but the value of your token representing that stake is transferable. And that gives you ability to use the value of the assets that you hold to trade, speculate in Kira ecosystem, do anything you want with that value, which also includes ability to, for example, trade it for unstaked tokens, so that you can, for example, unstake very fast by paying some smaller fee to market maker. That would be one of the examples which you can do. Outside of being able to stake the non-fungible, the fungible tokens, with Kira you can also stake the non-fungible tokens. So if the governance determines that, oh yeah, it is worth for us to whitelist specific group of NFTs, like say apes, right? Maybe in the future, apes are not only something that is like a status, but maybe can be treated of like real something that has inherent value. So you would be able to bring your apes or maybe digitalize real estate and stake that so that you can make a passive income from your NFT, but still get a derivative of your NFT so that you can trade it. So you make passive income. You for that you secure the network, but still you remain in control of all your assets and have still the ability to use DeFi.
Yeah, I didn't know you could stake NFTs. That's actually really interesting. Can it only be like certain types of NFTs, like ones with utility or ones that are associated with virtual real estate, or could it be an art-based one? Does it matter too
So
much?
there are two reasons why you would why the governance of the network would want any specific token to be staked. One reason is that you want to increase the security of the network. What's the security of the proof of stake? It's the value at stake distributed among as many unique non-Sybil validators as possible. So might be one goal. Right? The net governance says we need to introduce more security, more trust to our network so people can come in and bring their asset in to Kira and trust it. Right? You probably wouldn't trust, let's say, bringing $10 million to the network where you have only $1 million at stake. Right? Would you be comfortable sending even to a DeFi protocol your $10 million if there is only, let's say, $1 million already at stake? I think it wouldn't be very trustworthy for you. So this is one use case, right? We want to attract, governance might want to attract tokens with very high value which exists in real world. That would be, let's say, real estate, right? Someone comes in with their digitalized Dubai tower and wants to add security to Kira. Why not allow them to profit from that? And by doing so, bring a lot of interest, a lot of trust, and that generates network fees, and not directly, but cost more interest so that the entire network can profit from it. So we covered the first use case. The second use case is a speculative use case. So for example, there might be this, let's say, a new NFT series. I don't know, Apes 2.0, Apes 3.0, Punks something, right? Dodge Punks. Whatever that wouldn't be, the network can determine that, okay, you know what, maybe it's worth to whitelist those NFTs because if they are brought to Kira, they will be traded on the Kira NFT marketplace. They will not be traded on OpenSea. They will not be traded on Lux, right? On Rares. Like they will be brought to Kira because why not? Like you can just hold your NFT and you'll be making a passive income. And while you're making the passive income, you can take the derivative of your NFT and you can use it on the Kira marketplace. So this mechanism can be used by the governance to attract what is viral at a given point of time. So if there is something that is coming in right now, it might be worth to sacrifice a small percentage of the fee rewards and block rewards that the network generate in order to attract this audience, which in turn will bring even more revenue. So this is sort of a positive feedback loop. The more assets you have at stake, the more security there is, the more liquidity there is. And the more liquidity there is more use of DeFi on Kira. And that brings more fees, which in turn you can use to attract even more people, to bring even more stake, and the cycle repeats itself as long as there is as it doesn't reach a saturation point in the ecosystem. So this is kind of core of the consensus, and those are two kind of reasons why you might want to stake whitelist NFT for staking, or for that matter, whitelist any type of token, because it doesn't have to be NFT; it can be fungible token as well.
Nice. And it seems like you got it well put together. Everything from staking to liquidity providing, and hosting. So it sounds like you guys have really got a good ecosystem. What stage are you guys in right now? Have you guys fully launched this, or are you guys still rolling it out?
So right now we are still in a testnet phase, which is
Okay.
slowly coming to an end. The Kira consensus, the core of the consensus, is based off the Tendermint. And out of all the Tendermint projects like Binance Smart Chain, Cosmos Hub, and hundreds others, we currently have one of the largest testnets that ever existed in such ecosystem, with largest non-Sybil number of validators. So we still accept people to come in. The testnet is one of the largest testnets, Tendermint testnets out there. We had to design custom tools to even make it possible for so many people to connect. It's currently over 600 validators, out of which I think we are around 300 which are active, like actively producing blocks at this point of time. It's more than 600 who whitelisted themselves and tried to produce at least one block on the network. So this is the stage we are in right now. We have a governance module finished. We have an upgrade module finished, so that we can make upgrades. So we can create an upgrade proposals, and the daemon running the blockchain application can self-upgrade itself by observing that there is this proposal on chain. So we have this upgrade proposal. We have an identity register, which is an similar to like Polkadot identity register, where you can say like what's your name, who you are, and so on. But it is made in more decentralized way. So we had that model finished. We have recently finished the universal basic income module, so that every validator in Kira is incentivized by a basic income, so that the validators can come with large stake, cannot come in and push you out of the validator set. If you are part of the Kira network, if you are a unique individual, you'll be earning revenues which are consistent, so that you can pay off the servers. You have a guaranteed survival of your node, so that you can expand your business as a validator. And right now we are preparing the fee distribution module and a staking module, multi-bonded proof of staking module, but we plan to launch it after the mainnet, so that it's going to be similar to how Polkadot launched. There is the initial phase where there is just a basic consensus, a POA, and then we create an upgrade proposal, and this upgrade proposal activates the multi-bonded proof of stakes and decentralizes the governance power from just one person that launches it initially to the set of all the validators securing it.
Nice. If someone wanted to set themselves up as a validator, what would they have to do essentially? Would they just connect a wallet, or do they have to download anything? How does that kind of work, or will work?
So currently we created an application which runs a validator on your behalf, a sort of daemon. If you join testers.kira.network, it will redirect you to the Telegram group. And in that Telegram group, you can find a pinned post, and there are links to the software. You can download, literally you copy a single line of code, which can download for you a Kira Manager, which is a tool which will launch for you a validator node, will set up the network. All you provide to it is an IP address of another node in the network, and it will sync the blockchain from that node, and it will be up and running, I think, in a span of, let's say, 30 minutes, an hour. I should be able to join the network. It's also worth to note that only people who participate in our testnet before we announce incentivized game, before we launch, only they will be eligible to be part of the initial validator set. There is going to be KYC for initial set of validators, so we ensure that people who launch the network, that they're really unique individuals and not just one person that is running 1,000 nodes, because this is not really useful case. But this is our plan. Like, if you can still join the testnet, it should be very easy to do so. If you have any issues, we do have live support. You can text support.kira.network and they can help you out, even if you are not yet very well familiar with running your own nodes. The Kira is designed in such a way that we do not punish if your node goes offline. So it is very friendly. It is designed so that you can run the nodes at home. You don't need to run in Amazon because you will be slashed or like your money will be taken away. Like that's not the case in Kira. You can run the software at home. If something goes wrong, even if you commit double signing and you commit a fault that should not happen on typical proof of stake, there is a recovery process through the governance that protects your money when you stake and the people that delegate to you. So it is not like you can trip over the cable in data center and screw something horribly. So those cases we have covered, and it is not difficult.
Nice. It sounds like you guys got it really buttoned up. Where can people find Kira online and on social media?
It's very easy to find us. Telegram, it's tg.kira.network. The website is kira.network. The Telegram, the Twitter is twitter.kira.network. Our blog is blog.kira.network. So it is very easy to find us. It's hard to make mistakes, and we do have domain set up for every social network. Just input your social network name and then Kira.network, and you should securely be able to land on the desired page without getting scammed by different pages trying to tell you that this is a Kira page.
Gotcha.
So I think that's the simplest way.
What about you? You on social media?
Yeah, I'm on social media. I'm Asmodat on Twitter.
Perfect. Guys, go check out Asmodat. Go check out Kira. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. Matt, thanks for taking the time to come on the show. Really do appreciate it. Learned a lot about Kira, the network, how you guys work, everything from staking to liquidity providing to hosting. It's very exciting what you guys are doing. Excited to see it roll out fully, and welcome back anytime in the future too.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you. All right. Talk soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.